nearly October, so it's time to start thinking about what we'll be reading for the next month. So I decided to do a TBR jar. So this is my very first jar. I've got lots of books in there that I've been meaning to read for the longest time. So let's see what the jar has to hold. Hi, my name is Sim. Welcome to Sim Reads. This channel is dedicated to all things reading and all things books. So, something a little bit different this month in terms of my TBR. Now, I have seen on social media lots of people doing a TBR jar where the jar chooses what books people read. And the aesthetic is perfect. There's a nice little trolley with a selection of books, and there's some book prompts in there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to keep it 100% real. My TBR seems to just grow day by day, week by week. And I make a note of these on GoodReads or notes on my phone. So I decided to, do you know what, rather than just leaving those books to one side or just making the pile up, why not do it, put them in a jar, do it in a jar. So I've got my coffee ready. I've got my jar ready, and I'm super excited to see what the jar decides for me to read next month. Okay, so this is my first choice. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so this is perfect. This book has only just come out. Excuse the handwriting. Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. Yes. Intermezzo by Sally Rooney has just had its release. It is a highly anticipated book. There's a lot of excitement about this book and a lot of hype. So to give a bit of a synopsis, the book is about two brothers, Peter and Ivan, and they are struggling with the loss of their father. So Peter is a lawyer in Dublin. He's really successful. However, struggling with the bereavement of his father, he's also finding it really hard to sleep. So he's taking some sleeping pills. And he's also struggling to maintain his relationships with two women in his life. And then we have Ivan, who is a competitive chess player, bit of a loner, bit of an introvert, total opposite to his brother. And he meets a elderly woman called Margaret, who's also struggling with the echoes of her own turbulent life. So I've read one Sally Rooney book before, and that was Normal People, and I did enjoy it. I can't say that I loved it, but one thing I can say is that Rooney is really good at making the people in her books seem so real. I know she's a popular author with lots of my friends, and from the conversations I've had with them, this is something that they love about her writing too. So I'm hoping that Intermezzo and follow suit, where there'll be lots of poignancy to life, which will only allow her readers to just stop, ponder, and have a think. I'll read a little blurb here where it says, two grieving brothers and the people they love. This is a new interlude, a period of desire, despair, and possibility, a chance to find out how much one life might hold inside itself without breaking. That alone is just so, so intriguing. I cannot wait to start reading that. I'm definitely going to decide whether I need to download it on my Kindle or do I get the actual real physical book. I think I'm going to go physical for this one. But yeah, cannot wait to start that for this October month. Okay, so let's see what we've got in next. I've got some of them in envelopes and some of them not. This is a non-enveloped one. Yes, so this says Happy Place by Emily Henry. I did have an Emily Henry book on my TBR for September, which is what we do on vacation. So I'm glad to have another Emily Henry book to add to my repertoire of reading her titles. I'm excited about this one. Obviously not as excited as Intermezzo because that's just come out, but I do really love Emily Henry's books. So like all Emily Henry books, Happy Place is a rom-com. I am building my rom-com repertoire they're not the kind of books I tend to gravitate towards naturally, but I am learning to really enjoy them. So Happy Place is about two characters, Harry and Wyn, college sweethearts, been together forever. They go together like, I don't know, peanut butter and jam, what else? Cookies and cream, that kind of thing, according to the synopsis. And they have had a breakup. They've not told their friends, and they've been broken up for about 6 months. So this group of friends, including Harriet and Wyn, they go on an annual getaway to some cottage in Maine. And this holiday, this getaway is due. So they go, still not having told their friends that they've broken up. And they are vowing to spend a week pretending to still be together. So basically, they're going to fake it till they make it. For me, this sounds like it's going to be hilarious, because I don't know about you, I don't think I could do that with my ex, or with an ex. So it promises to be a giggle fest. The first Emily Henry book I read was Funny Story, and I did find it funny. It made me giggle, it made me cry. There was a little helping of spice, which always helps. So I'm assuming that this is going to deliver the same. There's a little bit of synopsis here that I want to read for you. So it says, so it's a flawless plan if you look at it from a great distance through a pair of sunscreen smeared sunglasses. That just made me smile. So, you know, I just feel like sometimes when we're reading some books can be really heavy, some books can be really deep and make you think. And actually, Emily Henry Reid is something that you need, that is lighthearted, just fun, just easy. So I'm really looking forward to this. And they're making a movie of this one, I think. I'm sure they are. I think this one and possibly Funny Story. I don't know. There are a couple of Emily Henry, can't say it properly. There are a couple of Emily Henry books that they are turning into movies, and I think this is one of them. So there must be a reason for that. So I cannot wait to find out what that is. Okay. I don't know how many I'm going to go for. I've not even thought about it. Maybe I go for 6 reads. Oh, maybe I'll go for 6. So I've done 2 already. So let's pick book number 3. Oh, I dropped it. Here we go. Oh, they're stuck together. Oh, this one's in an envelope. Let's have a look. Oh, I know what this is before I've even taken it out. I have to put the mic down. So, My Sister, the Serial Killer, by Oyinkan Braithwaite. I hope I've said that right. Yes, this was recommended to me by one of my really good friends, Becky. We went out for dinner a couple of weeks ago, and we were just talking books as always. I was giving her recommendations as normal, and so was she, and this was one of hers. I'm really excited about this book. I don't know what to expect. I haven't read too much up on it, but if you've read My Sister, the Serial Killer, please hit me up in the comments and let me know. I do need to do some research to find out more about this one, but even the front cover is really intriguing. I just love the colouring of it. The character's got her headscarf on, her dark glasses. So yeah, this I think is going to be a good read. I do need to do some more research and homework on that one. So let's go for book number 4. Let's see. Another, oh, I keep dropping them. Another enveloped one. Let's see. Good Material by Dolly Alderton. So Good Material by Dolly Alderton. I've not read any of Dolly Alderton's books before. I think this is her second novel, so I've not read her first one. Don't know much about her. But what I do know about Good Material is that it is a rom-com, contemporary fiction. It's based on a character called Andy, who is struggling with adulting, basically. He is sofa surfing, he's broke, he is dealing with a career catastrophe. I think he wants to be a stand-up comedian and things aren't going great. He's got social media issues as well, paranoia. His friendship groups are dwindling, they're getting smaller and smaller. And then he's also dealing with a life ruining heartbreak with the love of his life. And he's 35 and he's kind of feeling, by now I should have worked out what this life thing's all about. Relatable. So this sounds like a funny contemporary read with sprinkles of romance, maybe. I'll just read a bit of a synopsis. So GoodReads says that this is a warm, wise, funny, and achingly relatable text. Dolly Addington's second novel is about the mystery of what draws us together and what pulls us apart, the pain of really growing up and the stories we tell about our lives. So again, another relatable book. I'm just going to be so relatable by the end of October, I think. I think these kind of reads are good. I think sometimes, again, like I've said before, we can read books that are really kind of deep, really thought-provoking, but there is always room for just something that's a bit fun, a bit contemporary, something that's relatable. And I think this is definitely gonna feed that hunger that I have sometimes for books like that. So, how many have we done now? 4. Book number 5. Let's get in there. Okay, it's in an envelope. Oh, right. So we are changing the theme here of these books. So we've got a bit of rom-com. What else have we got? Really contemporary books so far. Again, I don't know much about My Sister, the Serial Killer, but this one is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. Now, I do know that this is a fantasy book. So The House in the Cerulean Sea, like I've said, is a fantasy fiction. I think it's a young adult, which I'm not mad at. I love a bit of young adult fiction. So it's by TJ Klune, like I said before, and it's about a overseer, I think is the right word for it, called Linus Baker. He's 40, he's a 40-something, solitary life, lives with a cat, and he oversees the well-being of children, and I think these children have like magical abilities. So the department that he works for, the upper management department, or extreme upper management department, I think it is, they call him for a really highly classified assignment and send him to Marsyas Island, I think it's called, where he has to, and on the island is an orphanage. Okay, oh, I didn't say that. So these children that he oversees are orphans. They have magical abilities. He's sent to this island to oversee 6 dangerous children. And I think they include a gnome, a green blob, a were Pomeranian, the Antichrist, and a wyvern, I think, and maybe some others. I'm probably wrong on that. So anyway, he has to go and oversee this case with these 6 dangerous children, but the island holds secrets itself. So the caretaker, I think his name was Arthur, will do anything to keep these secrets safe. So I think from the synopsis, it sounds like that Linus and Arthur really get along. And I think he has to make a really difficult decision in terms of making the right choice or seeing the end of the world, something like that. This is a book series, so I'm hoping that I enjoy it enough to want to pick up book 2. There is nothing worse, in my opinion, than starting a book series, loving the first book, and then not loving the second one if there are more after that, or knowing that it's a series and the first one isn't great, but you want to read the second one for closure, but you know that it might be a painful read because you didn't enjoy the first one. So I'm hoping that I don't have to endure anything like that. But I think it should be fun, enchanting, funny, a bit of fantasy. Like I said, it's a young adult book, so I'm hoping I can get through it really quickly, but I'm hoping that it'll be enjoyable as well. Okay, how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've picked 5. I'm going to go for number 6. Oh, it's in an envelope. I haven't dropped this one this time. Oh, I've got 2. Right. I'm going to pop that one back. Oh, I've got 3 even. And I'll just pick this one. What have we got? The Glass Maker. Okay, The Glass Maker by Chasey Chevalier, I think that's how you say it. I only recently added this to my TBR after having a good old GoodReads snoop and a mooch. So, The Glass Maker is a historical fiction and it has magical realism as well. So I think the reason why I put this on my TBR list or my want to reads on Goodreads is because this year I read The Song of Achilles and I'm currently reading Circe, both by Madeline Miller. And again, that's a historic fiction. It's got magical realism because it's all about mythology. So I think because I was kind of like in that bag, I thought that The Glassmaker would be a good read. So basically, it follows a character called Ursula Rossa, and she's from a family of glassblowers. Now, it's set in the 1400s in Italy and Venice. I mean, the setting alone is just going to be amazing. And at the time, women aren't meant to glass blow. However, she has the natural ability to do it just as well as the men in her family, for example, her father. But sadly, her father dies, so Ursula decides to glass blow in secret. So I think it follows generation after generation of these Rosso women who are secretly being glass blowers, and it follows their stories as they kind of deal with devastation, change, loss, just life in general. And they're just trying to keep their tradition, their secret alive, their craft alive. So I'll just read a little synopsis. Chevalier, if I'm saying that right, is a master of her own craft, and the glassmaker is as inventive as it is spellbinding. Sorry, a mesmerizing portrait of a woman, a family, and a city that are as everlasting as their glass. So that sounds like a really enjoyable, cozy read. Cannot wait to get into that one. Right, last one. I know I said I'll pick 6, but I think I'm going to go for a 7 and just challenge myself to read more than 6 books in 1 month. So I'm going to go for an enveloped one. I've got 2 in my hand. I'll just let one go. Let's see what this says. Why do I do that little giggle every time? There's the excitement, the anticipation. So, Ordinary Time by Kathy Renzinbrink. I hope I'm saying her surname right. Ordinary Time by Kathy Renzinbrink. I saw this book when I was bookshop browsing a few weeks ago in a local bookshop. This is a book about a vicar's wife called Anne, and she's a reluctant vicar's wife. And when I read that as the synopsis, I thought, this is going to be juicy. So she's a reluctant vicar's wife, and she tries her best to be noticed by her husband, but he only has eyes for one person, God. Her son must be of an age where he's starting to question things and challenge their faith, and she's struggling to find the answers for them. The congregation sound like they are hard work, so she kind of feels like she can't put her foot wrong because she has to meet what their expectations of a vicar's wife is, and she feels like she's just going to fall short of that. Anyway, her brother, Arsis, can't say that. Her brother calls to Anne for some help. He lives in London, she lives in Cornwall, so she travels to London, and then she meets a guy. I think it's a guy. Could be a girl, I don't actually know. But someone called Jamie. And boom, new world of intrigue, of temptation, of wowness erupts. She's tempted, and I think she falls for temptation and then has to grapple with the question of, can she go back to the life that she once had? I don't know. The synopsis says that this is a funny and heartbreaking new novel from the Sunday Times best-selling author Kathy Zinbrink. Ordinary Time is an unforgettable story of the joys and sorrows of everyday life, one that asks big questions about friendship and marriage, forgiveness and redemption, and the real meaning of love. I mean, come on, what more can you want from a story? So I think it's gonna have some juice, have some juice in there, a bit of spice maybe. I don't think this is a rom-com as such. I think it's just a good contemporary fiction with sprinkles of lots of elements that will just make it worthy of a good read. So I cannot wait to get into that one. Right, I think we're done. 7 books to read for October. It is cozy season, so I will be curled up with either some physical books, which will be something that I've not done for a while because I am a Kindle e-reader reader. But yeah, I cannot wait to curl up with hot drinks, blankets and lit candles with these 7 books. If you've read any of them, just hit me up in the comments. I probably will do either 60-second review shorts or a longer video where I review them at the end of the month. But until then, I will see you in the next one.